Hello, I'm Kerry Gorgone with Appfire, and this is the best project portfolio management show by Appfire. Today, we're going to address the question, how do I use whiteboarding for project management? And we're joined by Agnes Józwiak. She is part of Appfire's own team. She leads the Agile Apps Category. So we're going to answer all your questions about whiteboarding and explain how it can help you. So stick around because we've only got 10 minutes to do it.
You've got questions about PPM, but you're afraid to ask? Well, wait no longer. Appfire presents the best project portfolio management show by Appfire.
Agnes, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me again, Kerry.
Oh, you can come back as many times as you like. So we're going to talk about how you use whiteboarding for project management. But for those who are maybe unindoctrinated or haven't tried it, what is whiteboarding? I know most people have some idea, but what is it in the context of project management?
Whiteboarding as a thing whiteboarding is pretty much all you do with your team on a whiteboard, collaborative, where you can get together to visualize your ideas, to brainstorm, to plan, estimate, and you can do it like different ways to suit your team styles in real time or asynchronously. But the core of whiteboarding is collaboration.
So how does whiteboarding help Agile teams to plan projects? Like, why would you do it?
Yeah, well, having project management tool is one thing. Having a process is another thing. But also having a tool that integrates with your project management tool and your processes and natively, so you can use it sort of with your team as a part of your process is another thing. But I think what is important is to have a whiteboarding tool that is sort of one-stop shop for all your Agile activities. So you have, all your, Agile events, Agile ceremonies in one place, and you can gather your team where you can collaborate, exchange ideas, like I said, plan, estimate, and do what Agile teams do to deliver projects effectively.
So the benefit of it then seems like it's more fluid, right? Like you can change things quickly and easily because everybody's there to weigh in and give their opinions and stuff, as opposed to like you do a whole slide deck and send it to everybody and it's kind of it's done. It's like cooked,
Yeah, I think it will be risky what I would say, but slide decks are like, well, okay, they are okay, and they're good for some reasons, and people still use them. But whiteboarding tools allow you to sort of put your work together and also put everybody in the same space, and the tools will sort of let others follow you and sort of be on the same page. Okay, whatever I'm talking about, whatever I'm doing, we can gather and actually keep the focus on the things that we want to accomplish or discuss.
So walk me through an example then. You spent a lot of time in the software development space. Like what would a whiteboarding session look like in that context?
So we use whiteboarding for pretty much all the things software development and marketing. So because we do our product presentations, and where we are sort of able to show around the live prototypes. So instead of just going to Zoom and sharing your screen, we can get everybody on the board and get that feeling of we are in the product, and we show
like an actual, like spectators can look at you whiteboarding, you mean?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So in that sense, what we pretty much do is from our daily meetings, where we can, for example, bring our tasks from Jira and work on them directly on the whiteboard, and then create new ones that will be automatically synchronized to Jira with no manual work sort of afterwards, because we won't have to sort of enter those action points manually to Jira back again after the meeting. So
Right.
From like simple brainstorming session, we do loads of brainstorming sessions in marketing. We do our project management, like we were releasing the website and all the steps were planned in whiteboards. And it's transparent. It's very easily readable to people sort of who are involved in the project. Obviously, we do retros. We do
Retros, like the things that you've completed and how did it go, that kind of stuff.
yes. So like, yeah, how was it and how we can improve to going forward.
So like you could theoretically, and I think this is probably how it started, like roll an actual whiteboard into a room and write on it, or, with like a wipe off marker, or I've seen people put sticky notes up on a wall and move them around, like group and move them
Yes, but
around.
then with the
But then you
physical
have to
one,
like, right, but then you've got to
exactly,
type stuff into your project management software, like into your Jira or into your Confluence or
and
whatever.
that's painful.
Right, yes. So if your team then is distributed and you can't, even if you wanted to, get in a room with sticky notes and a wall, like this is what Whiteboards does.
Absolutely,
Right,
but for
Whiteboards as an app as opposed to like whiteboards in general. Like,
absolutely, yeah. But yes, because we're talking about whiteboarding and whiteboards as an app. And yes, indeed, like whiteboards is the application that will let you add sticky notes, write notes, and sticky notes can be easily converted into action items into your Jira, fed into your Jira. We can, prioritize, and the outcome of our work is there. We don't have to go any further to make notes, because obviously there was always a person making notes after the meeting, but it's
naturally.
all done. Yeah, I'm working on some cool features going forward. So
You
and
don't have to take a picture of a bunch of sticky notes on a wall anymore. Like,
yes,
okay.
that's true. Or rewrite them to your
Do
Jira.
people still do it though? I feel like they still do it. Do people still like take pictures of a board that they made and put it in there without integrating it? Like, is that
Yes,
it?
as much as people do print out slide decks.
Yeah. No, I get it. So like, okay. So for the people who are still doing that, like taking pictures of a whiteboard and then putting it into their Jira or their Confluence or something, you don't have to do that anymore. Like there's other
Right.
ways that will make it faster, right? That like connect up the things you did. Like if you do it in Whiteboards, the app, as opposed to on a wall with stickies, everything you put down, which like the equivalent of a post-it note, but you're doing it in Whiteboards,
Yeah.
like that connects directly up to your issues and your tasks and stuff.
Yes, you can convert it
Okay.
to an issue that will land in your Jira project. Absolutely.
And is
But
it you have to assign it though, or is that like all, can
you
you
can do
like, how much
everything.
can you build into whiteboards, I guess is what I'm saying, like the information you can populate in them before it
Mhm.
goes over?
Pretty much everything that you can think of when it comes to issue. You can add dependencies, you can add assignees, due date, you can add story points after you estimate those issues, those stories or tasks. Um, Dependencies, you can actually turn sticky into an epic and then show corresponding tasks within that epic. So pretty
Whew.
much you can bring all the backlog onto your whiteboard. But I guess that integration is just, it's a core, but also, we've got so many power tools to support, that collaboration for distributed teams. Because
But
I
you
think
have
that
to be, Agnes, you have to be at least collaborating at the same time, or can you do it asynchronously or do
you can
parts
do
of
both.
it?
Whatever,
Yeah.
just like I said, the whiteboarding tool you use has to be flexible so you can sort of, match it towards your needs, because your team might be working together on a project, but there are times that you work asynchronously. So you might want to add, just do a brain dump on your whiteboard, and then get your team, or prepare before the meeting. You can do it in whiteboard and then bring your people in, and then continue brainstorming, collaboration. But most of all, the whiteboards allow you to sort of run all your agile activities. So like from, like simple icebreakers to risk analysis, like planning, estimation, user story mapping, and all the events that you could think of to support your project management. Um, and
And
yeah, we've got like selected templates that will help you start not off with the blank whiteboard, but with a predefined set in your whiteboard.
oh, so depending
So,
what you wanna do, it's, like, pretty easy to figure it out and get started. I was just
absolutely.
thinking of you and me, like, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and you're in Poland, and, there's gonna be times that, your day starts obviously a lot earlier than mine. I get up and you've already been at it for hours. So that makes sense. Like what you're saying, that you can actually, so unlike having to get in a conference room and all write stickies at the same time, you can actually start a little bit earlier. Agnes, thanks
Yeah.
for coming by. This has been fun. I want to go
Thank
try
you
out
so much.
whiteboards. Oh, and Whiteboards
Absolutely.
is free for teams of 10 and under. So check it out at appfire.com. And also at appfire.com, you can find more episodes of this fine program, the best project portfolio management show by Appfire.